friends here. There will be an initiation immediately following the lecture. It will be a few hours in duration, and the application forms for the initiation are located now in the hall.
It's like a bomb that she dropped in. Just come in and initiation. People don't know.
Well, you know, dropping the... And I think that we can move to the speaker. Master Ching, hi.
Yes.
Is there something else?
I don't know. Yes, there are too many things to do. Okay, but you're fine. You're fine. Yes. She's working for the air, you know, in the airplane, and she's so used to with the crowd. I don't know why she's so emotional today. She's mostly like that when she see me only, but normally she's pretty stable. So I hope you don't think she's the representative of our group. She's beautiful, yes. Well, I guess you know what she wanted to say, more than the words that she expressed. And I'm also glad that she expressed it the way she did. Yes, because it's from feeling, from her own inner perception, not from the, well-prepared literature or well-formed English style, or very well formulated sentences. But I feel what she wanted to say. I don't know about you. You do? You did? Yes. Well, you look intelligent anyhow. So you must know. Well, I'm glad to have seen such beautiful Americans today. Yeah, I'm also amazed. I was informed outside that the room was packed and the people there were beautiful. And I think he was right. I think I have heard a lot about Colorado, Boulders, as a very spiritual place and very nice energy here. I heard it for many years ago when I read some of the magazines, spiritual magazines from Boulders, from Colorado, and I was actually invited off and on for 2 years now to Colorado. First to Denver and then to Boulder. Yeah? Boulder? Call it here? Yeah. And I had been putting it off many times. But this time, because I'm going through the United States, so I thought might just well drop in to say hello. How's everyone? Great, yeah. I'm glad that you take time to come here, that we can have a chance to see each other once in many, probably centuries, or many lifetimes. We never know we have this chance again. Or we might be in another different physical body. It might not look so beautiful like we are now. So you should appreciate your beauty here. Something. So I know that many of you have been on this spiritual path probably so-called different paths or different approach to God consciousness, or to Buddha nature, or to Zen, or Tao. The microphone, 那个声音太小了。It's my voice, it's my voice. 能不能弄大一点？大一点好吗？因为师父声音太小了。Is it okay now? Is everyone okay? Yeah, thank you. My voice is very, very low, except when I roar, you know. Like every woman does. Well, I have to fulfill my duty. Sometimes in a woman shape, you know? I have to be a feminine. You know, otherwise people think only men can become Buddha. Well, the good news is women also can become Buddha. Well, my disciples think that way. Yeah, I don't think that woman can become Buddha. I'm sorry, because we are neither man nor woman. Everyone is Buddha, undeveloped Buddha. Just like every country is a country, there are undeveloped country, there are civilized nations. Yeah. So we can be also developed by following certain techniques, certain way of life, certain way of orienting our daily life. Yes, the way most of people are living their life is not very well oriented. I don't mean you. Maybe you are well oriented. Please just listen to the general guideline. See, there are many levels we can live our life. And everyone knows that the highest level is to live our life in God consciousness, or when we are truly in touch or aware of our Buddha nature. Yeah. Now, many people try to approach this God consciousness or Buddha nature through different contemplating techniques. Contemplating or meditation is the best way that we could realize our true great nature. But even in meditation, there are many techniques. And even if you find the right techniques, or the fastest or the quickest techniques, it offers many levels too. Now suppose, we're supposed to talk about the highest technique, yeah? If we meditate in a right way, we will immediately, or if we have found the right way to approach our inner nature, we will immediately find some kind of enlightening aspect. Immediately some proof of our real great self, so that we know immediately that we are not only the physical body. We are something else. We just feel so elevated and so not really excited, but the language is very limited in his own power to express the divine ecstasy that we might feel when we happen to fall into a right path or the right environment of God consciousness. So that's why we could call that immediate enlightenment. And now if we follow that path or that kind of approach to God daily, then we improve each day. And we are more sure and sure of our liberation, more sure and sure of our own greatness. And then until one day we can say to ourselves, I and my Father are one. or I am that, or I am the Buddha. But even then, there's no sense of proud, no pride involved. It's just a very fact that we just discover, a truly enlightened state of being, that we just know what we are, that we haven't known before. That is all. When we found something that is ourselves, we cannot be proud. We just be happy that we have found it. It's very simple. Yes. So many people sometimes mistake that someone who might proclaim or be proclaimed. Normally the Buddha self wouldn't say that I'm a Buddha, except in a very special case when the disciples ask or need affirmation. But mostly they are proclaimed by the followers that they are the Christ or the Buddha or the Master. And then many people would misunderstand and would think that that so-called Master or Buddha is very proud, or want to claim victory, claim honor for himself or herself. Yes, I must not forget. Yes, but it is not true. It's just like after you graduate and you got a PhD and you say, I've just become a medical doctor, or I've just passed the exams, and got a PhD, and that's all. Well, we are happy that we have accomplished the goal that we have been working for after long years. So after we became Buddha, we will not feel that there's anything great about being a Buddha. We just feel that it's very happy, very contented. And we just feel that it's natural. It's the way it should be. Yes. And the one who become Buddha doesn't feel like immediately going out and proclaim this news to people. Not that he has lost his sense of compassion or that he is selfish. But they look upon the Buddha, look upon all beings as Buddha. And so the Buddha was probably feel very surprised that somebody doesn't know about this. But gradually the Buddha regained the sense of reality, of this world, and know for sure that there are many who have not realized that they are the Buddha, and that is the truth. Therefore, when these so-called people, so-called unenlightened people, or have not realized their own greatness, people came and requested the so-called Buddha to explain to them and to show them the way how to become Buddha, then that Buddha would do it. But without any sense of false pride or superiority at all. It might have a little sense of surprise in it, but no pride. Say, oh, probably, why didn't she know it? Why didn't she know that he is a Buddha? Yes, on and off will be always a sense of surprise during the preaching time of any Buddha or any masters. Yeah, when I say Buddha, please understand also, and I think you understand that I mean also Christ or any messiahs or any masters, true living high masters. I was much of the time in contact with Buddhist doctrines before, and even now. Also, I read many other doctrines, but because when I was young, I was always familiar with Buddhist terminologies. Therefore, sometimes I say Buddha or Buddhist doctrines. But please do not misunderstand that I stand for Buddhism alone and do not respect Christianity or any other great philosophy. Yeah? I'm for all. I respect all and I know all is pointing to the same truth. But we must know the truth. That's important. Not only to know the way, but we must know the truth. Just like once the Buddha said, I'm the finger that points toward the moon, but the finger is not the moon. He meant that his doctrine, his philosophy, just to awaken in us a sense of a longing for the moon, for the truth. But we must not cling to that philosophy alone and forget to find the truth. So the truth which we have inside us, that is God nature, or the kingdom of God, or Buddha nature, we have it already. We must uncover it. There is technique to do it immediately and continue to do it daily until we recover the whole kingdom of God for ourselves. The way most of the people live their life now is not yet complete and is not very ideal for our happiness and for our wisdom. There are many levels to live our life. The first level is the physical level, where many people, I would say, spend their life in. In the physical level, we mostly love sensual pleasure, love to sleep, love to eat well, love to have all kind of physical happiness. And we tend toward laziness too. We just work because we need to earn a living. But we do not put our ideal, our heart into our work. I'm just talking about different levels here. Please don't be offended. Yes. So that is the physical level. And we find it's difficult to work. We don't like working that much. As far as it doesn't concern our welfare, it's difficult for us to lift our finger, to work for others, or to do anything that is more beneficial to the mass of mankind. I'm just talking a general view, but if we go into details, it takes a longer time. So now the second level is what we call emotional level. In the emotional level, we are very strong in our own opinion. We can say we are domineering or authoritative. What we think is right. What we do is correct. And we expect even others to do the same. There, in this level, are born many, I'll say, dictators, and great so-called leaders in the extremist movement. Yes, because they're too emotional. They live their level in the emotional. They live their life in the emotional level. And these two, even though if it is good if they follow the right way, but when it's the wrong way, they also do not try to correct it, and they will not admit their error. And that is the danger, because there is no flexibility. Another level when we can live our life is that we live our life in the intellect, in the mind, the physical mind. Yeah. Well, the mind, I'm sorry, is normally physical. It's a kind of computer, a very excellent computer. It records everything and put out all the data very faithfully without any intelligence and judgment. If we do not put the soul intelligence into it, then the mind is only an automatic machine. Now I'm talking about this automatic machine, an enlightened mind. So when people live in this kind of automatic level of the mind, they became even more engrossed in themselves. Is that right? Correct word? Yeah. And they would not care much about what's going on in the world. They would not even dictate others what to do. So many people reach this level and they probably hide themselves into any caves or bury themselves into any kind of ideal, and they stick in there. They get stuck, and they would not care what's happening to the world. And they would not even want to change the world or to change themselves. They think they are perfect the way they are. And many mistake this for the highest enlightenment itself. They think it's nothing to do in the world. But the way of doing without doing is in a different level. It's not that. It's not that we don't care for the world and we do nothing for the world. It is not so, the great enlightenment. It's just one of the levels of the progress to enlightenment, to the great enlightenment. Yeah, enlightenment we have anyhow, different degrees each day. And as we struggle towards the truth, we experience different enlightenment each day, and we broaden our wisdom until one day we reach the highest level. So that is one of the level. Now, if we reach a little bit higher level, we live in so-called the soul, the self level, the self-realization level. We know then that we are soul, that we live because of the soul, that we are intelligent because of the soul light, that we are that we have compassion and feeling, etc., because of the soul's motivation behind it. And in this level, we know many things, and we try many ways to benefit the world, to help the world, and to help ourselves to live in bliss, happiness, and anything that we want to define as the noble goal of mankind. And we try hard. We still try with our effort and all our might to achieve this and to help others to achieve the same. This is the soul's level, the self-realization man. Because at that time we identify ourselves with the soul, with the soul. We know that we and the soul, the source of inspiration, are the same. We are not the body. But still, that is not the highest level. Because at that time we still have the ego that identifies, that knows that it is great, that knows that I and my Father are one. There are two still, too crowded. So another level, even though we say I and my Father are one, but because they are still I and Father, therefore not yet one. Yeah, you see, that's the paradoxical of things. So now, don't say I criticize Jesus, it's not true. He has only to say that in order to make people understand. But he is not that. You understand? He knows that he is different. Therefore, in another place he say, not I, but the Father does. You understand what I mean? He knows. He knows better than I and my Father are one. But he must say something. Otherwise people cannot get what he wants to say. Yes. When any master come to earth, they have to lower their level to the people's level and then slowly bring them up. Yes? Otherwise, how can we do it? Just like you teach a child. Yes, you have to teach him how to write ABC and hold his hand and to help him to write also. And teach him many sentences which you don't need to learn any longer, but you have to do it for the child's sake. Yeah. So now after this self-realization level, we have God level, God's consciousness or God realization. God is none other than ourselves. But even then, at the self-realized level, we do not know that. We thought there is a God besides us. Well, it sounds funny, It sounds funny. Does it sound atheist? I hope not. It's difficult to explain. Whew. It's difficult to explain. Okay, try to understand. It's not that you don't understand, it's just difficult for me to explain. So the God realized level is we are in it. We just do what has to be done without even thinking, without even knowing, without even feeling that we're doing it. We are just that. We just do it. We just the author of all things, the source of everything, of all actions, consequences. But without having the karma attached therewith. I hope I have made it clear enough, but I still think it's not. Even then, I don't know what else to say. Maybe you ask me later, and then I know how you understand it, and probably I also be more enlightened in your enlightenment, and then we can explain further. So now, most of the people live in the physical or emotional or automatic intellectual level or self-realization as the most. God realization level, many of us do not experience. But we could. Every of us could, because we have God within us. In the Bible it is stated that we are the temple of God, and the Holy Spirit lives within us. Is that not so? Yes. Also, the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God comes not through observation, not through reasoning, intellectualizing, not through talking, not through studying books or scriptures, but the kingdom of God is within you. Therefore, the direct way is to know it, to experience it, to snatch it back. That's why many Zen masters say, don't eat the scriptures. It sounds very atheist. Yeah, is it atheist? Yeah? Don't believe in God, right? Yeah. Also the Buddha sometimes in his probably tiring moment say, no such God. Yeah, there's no God. He doesn't mean there's no God. There is just no such God as we expected. So he said, there's not that, not this, not others, no such God. Yes. So people are attached to that sentence and say the Buddha doesn't believe in God. But it's not true. It's not true. Because in other places he say, I wouldn't say there's no God there or there's God, but I say there's one thing from which all things come and to which all things return. So that's also mean what? You know, yeah? All right. Now we tend to just analyze one or two sentences of the prophets of any time and then categorize him, that he's that or he's this and he's others. And we make so many isms out of this and sometimes fight with each other because of ism. And even within one ism, there is split opinions and there is sometimes fighting, sometimes even bloodshed. And that's very sad things to do. The prophets or the masters of old never wanted to create this kind of division. After we have realized God probably we will understand many more than we can express in word. But then there is a sense that even if we don't say it, everyone would understand. For example, if a master has many disciples, it's not possible that master can always be individually taking care of each disciples, physically or verbally. But all the disciples get enlightenment. All the disciples understands by their own and slowly reach the level of the master. Why? Because we are the master. We have the inner master. We are that. We are God's self. We are Buddha. We have Buddha nature in us. And once the master has helped us to awaken that Buddha inside us, or the master inside us, the master himself inside will take care of all things. Wake up to work after many lifetimes sleeping. Have nothing to do. Like stay in the physical level, then only the body works, the body desires and doing things. The body enjoys the sensual pleasure, but the master has nothing to do with it. And in the emotional level, the master also does not dictate. It is the habit forming of the mind that dictates. This is the desire to be above everyone that dictates. And also in the intellectual level, it's the minds, the intellect that discriminate things, that tell the body what to do, to stick in the caves, to meditate, to do this and that and others. But not the soul, not God, not the master. But only after a meeting with the real master, then the real master would recognize it. Yes. Because the president normally talks to the president. The king negotiates with the king. The king would not go and find any of the minister and talk to him about state affair. The king would not go and visit any policeman and negotiate the two nations' great important issues. Understand? So long as the policeman department involved or any minister affair involved, the presidents will not be there. Yeah? Or the king will not be there. So only when the king came, then the king will come and meet him and talk to him, negotiates with him, or planning things for the nations or for the world. That's what it is. The importance of meeting the true master in order to awaken the true self within us. The king will only talk to the kings. Therefore, we could follow many paths. We could do everything we want, stick in the caves for 100 years. We still not find the master. It's not the master's affair. So he will not come out. He only wait until the proper moment to see the king, because he is the king. Therefore, we meditate, we follow many different so-called masters, we do every kind of austerities, even vegetarianism. Yes, but that doesn't bring us to Buddhahood or to God throne, except when we awaken the Buddha within us through seeing another Buddha, or through the helps of another Buddha. Then we know ourselves. You understand the difference or not? Yes? We follow many paths. We have different benefits. There is no path that offers no benefit. There must be benefits of some kind. Otherwise, how would people follow it? Even prayers without any guidance have benefit. Even going to church going to the temples, doing worship, going on pilgrimages, have their emotional upliftment, and we feel some kind of happiness through it. Sometimes, most often, a sense of pride that we have done pious things and that we are vegetarian, that we go to the church every day, that we go to Mecca, etc. And that strengthens our ego only, our pride only. That's the sad things. But the soul is always there, luckily, and the soul knows that it's okay. Only let the children play until they're tired, and then they would go to the mother. Understand? That's why the true masters never in a hurry or never try to hoard disciples. They're just very natural, very spontaneous in their way, and whoever is ready will come. They have no anxieties that the whole world does not follow their message, that many people attack them, that people would not live the way they should do. Because children live the way children do, but it's okay. Just that they have to grow up one day. And once they grow up, they have to behave the way adult people should behave. So the so-called masters of Buddha, since ancient time, they would come and present to the people many different levels of life, or many of the enlightened ideas. And then people would choose. Those who are ready for it would choose. But not that the master is very hurry and very anxious and worried about the world. But not that he doesn't do anything. He does, but without doing. Like Lao Tzu say, do without doing. And that's a different level from the intellectual level who stick themselves in the jungle and mind no one's business. The master is in the world to help those who need help. But he is not in the world. He's not attracted to the world, not attached to the world. No, nor is he attached to his failure or success in this world. You see how Jesus did. At the peak of his glory, he was ready to die, if it should be so. You understand? And by dying, he teaches many people the way of surrendering. By not clinging to glory and life, he teaches God's will, that we should always follow God's will. But in order to follow God's will, we must know where God is and what God wants. And in order to know that, we must reach God realization, like Jesus did or Buddha did. Then we can surrender. But not otherwise. Before that, we will always struggle with our own will, with our own so-called intelligence in order to change the world, or to make the world a better place, etc. We do that with a sense of ego. After great enlightening, we do but not doing. And we do thousands and 1 billion trillions of things without lifting one finger. Can you imagine that kind of business? Huh? Doing 1 trillion things without lifting one finger? It happens. It's not a joke, even though I made it like a joke, but it isn't. It is a true state of real being. And every one of us has this capacity, has this right to exercise this power. But we don't know it, that's all. We're too busy developing ourselves in scientific aspect, in literature field, in mechanical, success, and we do not try to develop the all complete power. That's why we don't know how to exercise this. And that is the only reason. And now, many people would tell me, but we do. We try hard to develop this all-encompassing power. Is that right? Yeah? Good English, yeah? Say, I speak Chinese and Vietnamese every day now, and goodbye to my English. Yes, people would tell me, yes, we do that. Yeah, we go to the church, we go to the temple, we repeat 101 beats every day. Yeah, we are vegetarian. We do this mantra 1,001 times. We repeat hundreds of mantras many years now, and we count it. We even count it. We have a book for it. Yes. And we worship such and such deities how many times a day, how many hundred prostrations a day. And we go to such and such pilgrimage centers. We do such and such worship acts and rituals and rites. And we meditate even. Yes. Or I feel I'm very virtuous. Yes. I did feel that way. But after a while, I'm tired. I thought, it's not deep enough to satisfy my inner longing. So only after I practice this so-called Guanyin method, which is the method without method, which is directly pointing into your own nature, then everything ceases to bother me. Everything else fall apart. Yes. And the self stands revealed. And everyone knows that too. Yeah. Some of the people who follow other paths would tell me, yes, we know that. Directly pointing to the mind, knowing you are the Buddha, that's it, and you are enlightened. But that's only talking, repeating what the patriarchs said in many hundreds or thousands of years ago. We don't know what is directly pointing to the Buddha nature means. We don't even know what it is. We thought the Buddha nature is what we can understand with the intellect, or touch with the hands, or reasoning it out, what we can imagine it. It's not so. It's not anything that we can imagine, or touch, or feel, or reason. We just have to know it by the experience. The Buddha nature is something effulgent with light. And within this light, we know everything. Just like we use language to teach human, and the animals, they use the animal language to communicate to each other. Buddhas use light and different vibrating frequencies to teach the Buddha in us. Do you understand? The Buddha in us cannot understand, don't want to understand, and don't need this physical language of ours. It's not for him. Just like the animals must not teach human being what to do by his own bubbling or however beautiful singing. Do you understand? We don't need it. We have different language of our own. We do our things. Even though we might love the animals, we might like their singing songs or their sounding, welcoming sound to us, but they don't need to teach us through that. We don't need to learn animal understanding anymore. Okay? So the same. The Buddha inside needs Buddha's direct teaching, which manifested through light and vibration. That's why the method, the non-method method is a Guanyin. Guanyin means observation of the vibration. You understand? The inner vibration is not the outer. It's not that we can hear with the ears or we can see with the eyes. No, no, no. We can perceive it only. And once we perceive this, we know that is our real nature. And everything else comes automatically. That's why in the Bible it is say, seek you first the kingdom of God, and all the things shall be added unto you. The kingdom of God manifested in all light, all musical, all beautiful melodies. That is as far as we can reach insight in order to understand something and slowly to reach the absolute. The light which manifested from the Most High in order to communicate with the lost souls in this world or different worlds has different levels. Not that the light alters, it's just the cloud of different levels made it different, become into different kind of quality, you understand? Just like the sunlight, when filtered through different eyes glasses, looks different, or descended into different places. We have to listen to the melodious teaching of God, and then slowly we follow it and reach the top. And that is when we know the Buddha nature, when we know what the kingdom of God is. Otherwise, we just speculate and think we know. We must know it. We must eat the cake before we say it is sweet or sour. And this kind of experience we can have immediately because the kingdom of God is within. Even then, it is within, but we do not know. Because the king will not come out if there is no other king to greet him or to talk to him. Understand? So the so-called master is that the one who has reached that level and then can communicate with our highest level. Our highest self would not come out otherwise. He knows he wastes his time. Therefore, we follow many paths and we do not feel satisfied. We know there's something missing. We know that the real self has not revealed itself to us because of that, because of the lack of the equal partner. Yeah. So whenever we see that our self revealed, and we know that we have met another self, and that is the way to recognize a true master or not. Otherwise, we cannot know. Everyone can teach us so many 101 things and busy ourselves all the time. But this is only to pass times. It's not to reach self-enlightenment, not to know the highest way of our life. So, in case that you believe what I say, you may try, yes. And in case you do not, you may follow your path and be friends with me. Until next time. Maybe 100 years to come, 1,000 years to come. Because you still like to sleep. There are two ways to realize ourselves. First is immediate, right now, and finish with all learnings, and finish with all the suffering. If we think the world is suffering and too ignorant for us, if we think the way we lead our life is not satisfactory enough for our ideal, then we have to do it now, in this life. A second way is that just to go on with the way we are now and sleep. Sleep inside. The soul sleep. And maybe we wake up another time. There could be many hundreds of years, many thousands of years. Depends on how long we like to sleep. Okay, I think I leave time for you to have questions, and then I will know what you want to ask. I know how you understand. Thank you very much for your love and attention. I do feel your supporting energies. Thank you very much. You may come and ask directly on the microphone, or you write. 什么意思啊? No one like to ask question? Please come up, sir.
Do we have a microphone floating around?
Yeah, give them. This is the one you can pass around, that they don't need to come up if it's inconvenient. Yeah, pass it to him. Please pass it to people, and they just...
So we'll pass it around.
Yeah, pass it around by people. Ching.
Is it working?
Yes?
Okay. Well, my name is Jesse Arnold.
Please put it very next to your lips. Yes.
My name is Jesse Arnold, and I have a question for you. I've been thinking about it for 2 days because on my altar I put the poster that I picked up in the store
Yes.
announcing your visit.
Thank you.
So while I was doing different practices over the last 2 days, I started noticing that there was more of a smile. You have a big smile on your face in the poster.
Yeah.
And then I felt the energy radiating from the poster, and I told my friend Bill, I said, I know that the Master knows that that we're here and that she's sending out her feelers and making contact with all the different energy that's going on here. And I immediately said, what am I going to say to the Master? So as soon as I asked that question, the thought came into my mind that I would like to know what you understand of the Bodhisattva and how did the Bodhisattva can manifest, because I felt your presence without even you being in the room.
You answer yourself already, no?
But hearing it from you would be a blessing.
You want self-glorification or what?
I'm actually looking for glorification of the Buddha.
Yeah, you want me to self-glorify, and it's difficult. Well, if you have felt the energy, then, all right, I try to explain, but please don't think it is a self-praise. Someone who reach a level of bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is Sanskrit, means an enlightened being, a very enlightened being. Bodhi means enlightened, sattva means being, that's all, yeah. When somebody reaches a level of enlightened being, then that person can be anywhere at the same time. We call omnipresent, yeah? Yes. But the Bodhisattva, according to Buddhist terminology, is not a Buddha, yeah? But actually, the omnipresent person in the highest level is a Buddha, or is a Christ. So a Bodhisattva is someone who not only is enlightened, him or herself, but can enlighten others by different ways. Visibly and invisibly. Yes. All right? But you must be in a high level in order to feel that. Not everyone can feel that, even through just a picture.
Yes, please. Who or what is Kuan Yin?
Kuan Yin is the name in Chinese for Avalokitesvara of Sanskrit. It indicates an enlightened being called Kuan Yin or Avalokitesvara. It means the one who observes the sound. Guan means observing, contemplating. Yeah? Yin means sound, the vibration that I had just mentioned. And she or he had reached Buddhahood, sainthood, yes, or enlightenment through the Guan Yin method. Therefore we call her Guan Yin Bodhisattva. When she was alive, she helped many people in her enlightened way. So, and people do not really know her name, so they call her Guan Yin. But everyone who practiced Guan Yin method and reached that level are also entitled to call Guan Yin Bodhisattva. Yes? Therefore, I offer this method to make you become a Guan Yin. Not to pray to Guan Yin, but be one. Yes. There are two ways to live in this world. One is to pray to God or Buddha. The other is to be Buddha and help others who pray. Okay? If you want, please raise your hand, yeah? And be fast so we have not lost time.
Can you share the experience with us when you obtained what it was like?
Well, there are too many. How can I share with you all at once? The main one, everyone is the main one. Everyone is the main one. Because the whole stream make up the river, you see? The whole current, yeah? The whole body of water make up the ocean. I cannot say which drop is the main drop. Yeah. Difficult. Why don't you just get initiation and enjoy it yourself? Well, I offer it in person, yes, but we must enjoy it, not to hear from it. If I give you if I ate a cake and say that is so sweet and nice and beautiful, what benefit will you gain from it? Yes, so the best is to eat the cake. Yes, at the time of initiation, you experience what I experience in some degree, yeah? And slowly you experience everything that I experience with time. And you know what it is, yeah? To eat a cake is different from to hear what other people taste about the cake, right? Yes. It's difficult to talk about this. You know it. Why you ask the impossible? Yeah, give a microphone. The one who has the microphone must be alert, please.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
What about the fear and emotional blocks that always get in my way? I can only taste. I can't get there because I have these things that keep coming up for me. Can you speak to that?
Also Tibetan meditation? No?
No. A blend, actually. I do meditate quite a bit.
Yourself? You have
Om Namah
master?
Shivaya. I bow to my inner self.
Well, I can only tell you that whatever obstacles, you just try to meditate. Just continue.
Thank you.
Yes. If the obstacles is the one you can avoid, then try to avoid it. If you cannot, then pray to your inner master or God, or whomever you believe most, to help you to overcome this uneven road. Okay?
My biggest obstacle right now is loving myself fully and completely. And I just, like a lot of us when we're growing up, just are not taught to love ourselves and give ourselves full respect. And I find that I often create blocks for myself and beat myself up, as so many of us do. And I was just wondering if you could comment on that, about something to maybe motivate us to go further.
Yes. I have one solution. This is a Guan Yin method. Once you know how great you are, first then you can love yourself. Once you know everything you do is God's will, then you will not blame yourself for things that you think you do it. Because we will not be the doer. You understand? we will understand more what makes us do this and that, and why. And we just do things without really having to control it. You understand? But doesn't mean we do bad things, please. It just automatically be in the right way. To love ourselves is difficult because we don't know. We don't know ourselves. We think we are the one who does this bad thing and that bad things according to social convention and customs. And then therefore we blame ourselves. Also we get blamed since childhood. Whatever we do, the parents say, that's naughty, that's lousy, that's bad. And we get this guilty feeling since childhood, and it's difficult to get rid of. The only thing to free ourselves is that to know how great we are and to directly know our real greatness. That's why many people cannot love the neighbors, because they cannot love themselves. But how can we love ourselves if we don't know how great we are? It's difficult. That's why I offer this method to know your great self. And then you stop everything else. It's so pity that not everyone knows this. That's the only way, the best way, the fastest, the safest, without any side effect. I'm afraid if I tell you this, it sounds like advertisement. And I must tell you the truth that I'm originally a very shy person. I'm not for the public. I didn't have many friends. And I cannot speak in the public before. I'm just dragged out by God now, the 5th time. I cannot hide anymore. Everywhere I go, He knows it. And then He would send someone, a group, and come and fetch me out. So I had to do it now. And I know it is a difficult job to tell people what I know and to offer people the best. And difficult for people to believe this. And especially when I'm a very shy person, I don't like public meeting, and I don't like anything to do with public. But just I had to do it. God always do this way. Yeah. He just picked the one who doesn't like to do it. You know it, no? Just mostly what you don't like, he just shove it in your... shove it in front of your door and ask you to remove it. So I'm also suffering. Yeah, but I'm willing to do it if that helps some people, if that helps His chosen children to go back to where they should be. All right? So I tell you this, the only cure that I know for all ills, for all kind of self-hatred or others' hatred, or all kind of ignorance, for all kind of frustration, for all kind of suffering, for all kind of misunderstanding. Everything get cured by self-knowledge, by directly knowing God. Read.
Is initiation a type of Shaktipat, and how is it different from other types of Shaktipat?
I have been asked this question before. And do you ask the same? Like Shakti has to do with Kundalini rising? Yes? Yes. Then my answer is this. Shakti deals with the feminine aspect of the universe, the creative power, the mother of all beings. Yeah. But God doesn't even create. You understand? So now if we know only the creative power, we are in the creation and in the creating process. We will be one in it. But we are not the one who witnesses also. If our path, it offers also Shakti power. But offer you also to be the witness. We have to be feminine and masculine at once, at the same time, in order to be truly complete. If we just one power, and do not know the tranquility of uncreative state, then it is too restless, too hectic. Understand?
Once the soul is awakened, does it stay actively awake?
Yes, always. Always. The body will sleep. The mind will get sometimes entangled in other pursuits, but the soul never does again. Once awakened, is always awakened. But even then, we need a cooperative mind and body and emotion in order to work best, to benefit the world more with the soul's directing power. Yeah. Therefore, after initiation, even when we have a taste of enlightenment and know ourselves, we still continue with the training in order to make the mind habit to the enlightened way of the soul and not to sink down again to the physical level and the worn-out conception and the habit-forming way of doing things.
Please explain God realization level without having karma attached.
Without having karma attached? Well, the simple reason is that God has no karma. Karma arises only through our actions and reactions and our attachment to what we do and the success and failure thereof. Otherwise, there's no karma. God has no attachment. Therefore, God has no karma. Maybe he is attached to his children. But we know that when we ask him, when we go to him and ask him directly. All right? Now we don't discuss.
Is the milk of animals considered acceptable food for the bodhisattva consumption?
Yes, it is acceptable, provided you like it. Well, I don't like it myself. Okay?
Will you please explain what the term bodhisattva means? I might be bodhi.
I already explained, no? Bodhisattva. Yes. Will you please explain what the term bodhicitta? Bodhicitta means the enlightened mind. Yeah? The Buddha nature. That's what it is. Bodhicitta. Yes, Steve, you can help her.
I have to make this announcement, I'm told.
Yeah.
That at the end of the question and answer, there is an initiation following our meeting here. There is no charge for the initiation.
No charge for anything.
No charge for anything. And
before, after, and during. Okay.
And all that's requested is that you fill out an application form in the hall. And that, that's happening anytime. What is the Kuan Yin method?
Yeah, wait. Yes. Kuan Yin method is a non-method method. Just because we are in the world, so we have to call it a method. Otherwise, how can I tell you? Yes. But when you have this method, you just effortlessly be in yourself. And it will enlarge your own realization about how great you are, and it offers you wisdom for everyday works as well as knowledge of the universe. You will know everything you need to know. You will solve every problem that's necessary for your growth without much effort. In another word, the master will do everything for you. The master is your real self, manifested outside as a physical body, but inside it is God power. It's for you. And when the master wakes up, the house will be in order again. So we will not be in chaotic state of mind. We will not suffer too much for the things that we cannot solve. Even we will not be puzzled as the question of where will I go after death? Or where was I before I was born? Even in accidents, the master will be there, take care of you. Even in your operation room, even everything. The spiritual way, the spiritual aspect and the physical daily life aspect will be different after you practice the Kuan Yin method, because you are in yourself again. You take charge of your life fully. That's what the Kuan Yin method is. Truly, it is without method. It's just that the king is given his power again to do his work, to reign his country, yes, to govern his own government. But the king can come out only when another king is there. Actually, I am just yourself. I'll help you to understand yourself. And that is the Kuan Yin method. Without the master, the Kuan Yin method is nothing. No method. That's why when we do the initiation, the method is transmitted through complete silence. There's no words, no actions, nothing to do, no mudras, no mantras. You understand? The self alone is awakened and reveals in splendor. It is light. It is melodic. You understand? This is vibration of the universe. It is not physical. It's not emotional. It's not intellectual. It's nothing that we can speculate. We just know it. The self knows the self. Just like when we wake up after a dream and then we know that we are Mr. X and Mrs. W, for example. Okay? Yeah. No need to explain at that time anymore that you are Mr. X or Mrs. T. Because you know yourself. That's it. That is the time. That is when we practice Kuan Yin method. We know ourselves. Yes, please.
I'm not sure I understand what taking initiation is, what that means.
Well, you can ask more later in the information desk in case you want to know, but I will briefly explain. Initiation doesn't mean a truly initiation, really. It's just causal because of the worldly language. There is no initiation of the such. Actually, you just come here and let me help you to understand yourself, that's all. But that's what called initiation, all right? I don't know what else I can call it. Maybe you can call it, well, just like you enroll in the universe and let the professor teach you to become a professor, all right? We can call it enrollment. Yeah, what else? Yeah. Yes, you see, you just come in and sit in a room and be explained what you do from today and after tomorrow in order to contact your great self every day. That is what we call initiation. At the time of initiation, so-called initiation, you let yourself be known. by willingly sit there and let the Master open the inner door for you so that you know what yourself is, what God is, what the God light is. Like in the Bible, it says, when a saint knows God in the Bible, yeah, it says, wow, he's like a flame, a great flame. Or his sound, his voice, like the sound of many water, the sound of thunders, etc. So at the time of initiation, you experience these things and more in order to know God and get God realization by and by. Actually, you get God realization today, but you cannot do it once and remember because we have been ignorant for too long. So we have to repeat the experience daily and polish it until it become a perfect diamond. Yeah, then we are completely enlightened. Yeah, so that is a so-called initiation. But there's nothing done in that process. Just the soul speaks to the soul. God teach God. Yeah, the God within you recognize the God within me, and they both speaks to each other and tell each other what to do without us intervene with the mind and the human language. We cannot do anything in this affair. That's what's called initiation. All right?
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
I need a wisdom eye. Yes, please.
Hello, it's good being here. I hear you saying that we don't need initiation, and yet I understand I think I understand, or I feel I understand what you're saying, but yet I'm not clear whether you're saying that it's a need or a necessity or a must to be a vegetarian.
Yes, it is.
One must be a vegetarian in order to be enlightened.
Yes, no, one must not, but in order to be a complete enlightened after long run, we should be compassionate. Enlightenment include compassion. That's
so how
all.
about a person who would, under various circumstances, not particularly be a orthodox or a strict vegetarian, or might even have a cup of wine or a glass of wine? I mean, not living, you might say, an orthodox or strict way, and yet are they capable of, is their freedom valid, or are you saying that it's invalid if a person is awake and yet might have meat or drink or something like that without being an addicted person? Like most of us here.
I don't know any such person. Maybe you are the first enlightened master who eat meat and drink wine. Or you can try.
I feel very humble here with you. I'm not claiming to be enlightened.
Yes. I'm not playing either. I'm just joking to make it light. I don't want to sound too accusing or like I'm the perfect one who dictates you what to do. Yeah. I look at all things humorously. Yeah. But I guess one, the word orthodox means right, in the righteous way, the right way. So if we don't live an orthodox life, maybe we couldn't get an orthodox enlightenment. What do you think?
I'm asking you the question.
Yes, you see. You see, my head is all white, right? It should be white like this. Even if a little speck of black, it make it imperfect. So we will be intoxicated with the wine, the ambrosia, the nectar of God. We have no need for this cheap substitute any longer. Should we still feel in need of that, that means we still not yet completely satisfied with God's nectar. That's all. That means we're not yet really there.
But can you actually dilute something that is that pure? Can you really touch the enlightened mind, which is absolutely free, by anything when you have that awakened mind? When anything enters into the light, doesn't it just dissolve?
I understand. Provided we have that light.
Well, it's just
But in order to reach the light of the sun, we must open the door. and stand in the door, or at least look through the door. Now, if the door is there, do not blame the sun for not dissolving the door for you. Understand? Yes. Substance have different quality. Now, if the door is not as powerful as the sun. Yes, the sun we know that can pervade everywhere and dispel the darkness of 1,000 years. If the room is so dark for thousands of years and the sunlight comes through, then even 1,000 years of darkness will be dispelled. But should we put the door or cover the room with dark things, with many doors and bricks and things like that, the sun cannot penetrate. All right?
Yes, but you said that once you have experienced the consciousness or the awakened mind, that you could never be unconscious. So therefore, if
Yes,
the Buddha nature is
understand.
within all people, how does one not have Buddha nature constantly and at all times?
We do have it now. That's the trouble.
Right, but you're saying once
We
you
already have it, but because we are blocking it with all these kind of obstacles.
No, but you said
Yes,
that
please.
when you have soul consciousness, when you have that you never fall from it.
We have it now, but we fall all the same.
But you said before
Because,
we don't.
yes, but we must know the way not to fall again. That's why I offer...
But it's your nature.
Please listen.
I'm listening.
You cannot listen and talk at the same time. Now, at the moment, we already have God consciousness and Buddha nature. Not that we don't have. We have it all the time. It's always with us. But because we are looking in the other direction, therefore we could not see. Now, when we want to see it, we will have to look in the other direction. And the direction is not that direction. Therefore, why we do not know God, Buddha, nature now? Because we are living in a way that is inappropriate to the revelation of it. Therefore, for example, meat, wine, or this clouded our consciousness, make us confused, let us not easy to understand who we are.
I respect that,
So-
but I just want to say one thing. You're asking people to be vegetarian. I respect.
So
I really
please
respect
let
what
me
you're saying.
finish,
No,
won't you?
may I just say one thing to continue? Because you're saying the meat. I just want to say.
You can say
that
it
when you
later.
eat vegetables, there are chemicals in vegetables. The food that
Let
we
me
eat-
finish
Okay.
first.
How do you speak?
And then later, if you are not satisfied, then you can tell me that there's something
Okay, I'm
missing.
listening. I'm
All
listening.
right?
Yes.
Because other people may also like to listen, yeah? You see, now the meat and wine and all these things, unhealthy things that clouded our consciousness and prevent us from knowing our great self, like the door that we block and other things to block the sunlight. The sun will not force his way. It's not its nature. If you want to know the sun, we must open the door. So now I have, not I myself, but it is God. Yeah? Thou shalt not kill. And he doesn't say killing a human only. It means killing any living things. A vegetable, when we cut them, also a kind of killing. But because the vegetable has very less consciousness, and once we cut a branch, it grows 3 more. Therefore, it's not a loss of business. You understand? Once we cut an animal legs or head, it won't grow 3 heads more. So we know there's not a natural way to eat and preserve life from death. So we cannot eat death body to want to find life. Now, vegetable has also life. But the feeling of suffering and the attachment for life is less than in animals, in those living beings. Therefore, once when we eat vegetable and we meditate, our merit and light could absorb that. But we cannot meditate just for 2 or 3 hours a day and absorb the big karma of killing a life. You understand what I mean? A conscious life, who has attachment and passions and everything else with it, and hatred as well. Animals have. We cannot absorb all that with just a few hours of meditation. But we could do it if we incur some karma, small karma, by eating vegetarian diet, it doesn't mean vegetarian has no karma. You understand what I mean? Everything include destroying any kind of living life in this planet, incur karma too. But then it's too small, we can cover it. Just like we owe somebody $5 and we earn 500, then we can pay. But if we own 5,000 and earn only $2,000, then we had more debt every day. You understand?
It was very helpful.
Mm.
I really respect you, and I'm very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Yes. It is helpful to be vegetarian, but the vegetarian diet doesn't bring us to Buddhahood if we do not meditate in the right way also. I think, I know you try to, I understand what you say. It's right, it's correct. Vegetarianism doesn't bring us to Buddhahood. Otherwise, cow would become vegetarian, Buddha. It's true, yes.
But just as my curiosity...
Now you ask, yes. Mm.
I apologize for interrupting you.
Yeah.
I just was wondering, can an enlightened being, as I feel you are, could an enlightened being, if they wanted to, I know it's a tricky question because
Right.
in a way they wouldn't want to,
Yes,
but if they did eat meat or had a drink,
yes.
would that interfere with their awakened mind?
It probably wouldn't, yes. But the thing is, if they need to do it for some special purpose, you understand? They know what they are doing is okay. But most people do not know. They eat only for the satisfaction of their palate. Is that right, palate? Yes. Or by the dictation of the habit, then we incur karma anyhow. But the enlightened person, sometimes, probably exceptionally, in some case, they would do some things out of ordinary. But they know what they're doing, not because they deliberately want to do it for their own selfish interest. Probably it happened. Yes, I know it happened, but very exceptional case.
That was
Yeah?
very satisfying. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. But do not make an excuse that the Master Ching Hai say that and go outside and say, I'm enlightened, do what I want. Okay? He asked for special case only. Yes. And only the Master knows what is a special case. All right? Yes. Mm. In my book, by the way, what's your name? Yes. Eddie. In my book, I also explain more. It's not my book, really. My disciples, they wrote it from my tapes or something. It is explained more about vegetarian diet. Yeah, and it also, I remember maybe also tell you how to dissolve the chemical substance in the vegetable to help us more in health and consciousness. In case if it didn't say so in the books, because I forget everything what I have said. And the books, I don't know what is inside. But I just remember that there is vegetarian columns in it. And in case it didn't say about how to dissolve the chemical that he just mentioned, you put the vegetable or fruit into salty water, yeah, very salty water, and let it soak for 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and later wash again with clean water. And that helps to clean most of the chemical substance in the vegetable, and it's better for us, okay? Most of vegetable and fruits now, they have chemical substance. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's difficult to find. So you soak it in water. Whether it has the chemical or not, it helps anyhow, yeah? Mm. Soak it in salty water for 3 to 5 minutes and wash again, and it's safer, all right? It's good that you mentioned that. Most of vegetable nowadays is full of chemicals. This is unsafe for our body. And when our body is affected, it's difficult to concentrate, to meditate. Is that right? Mm. To vegetarian. Uh-huh. Well, you see, nowadays, some so-called doctors still are very inclined to the old theory that people need meat to survive. But you can find plenty of books, research from other scientific, work. Yeah, many other doctors who say that meat protein is harmful, toxin, deadly to the body, and they have proof 1,001 of it. So do not listen to one theory alone and be convinced in it. We don't need at all meat diet. Not at all. Yes.
It didn't say all.
Yes.
It's based on their free blood type.
No one needs it. Actually, many people are cured after the sickness after vegetarian diet, if they are courageous enough and listen to the other theory. We can be hypnotized into convinced of one type of theory and convince ourselves in that theory, and when we believe, then we believe that meat is essential to us. It's not true. It's not true. We have to read the other direction and hear other people what they have to say. Yes. Yes. You know, I know there are 2 hospitals in Taipei made by the American doctors, completely vegetarian for all kind of sickness, all patients, even doctors, nurses, and workers in there, all vegetarian. Nobody die. They only feel better. Well, how about that? Yes, no one truly needs meat diet. Even the tiger can be vegetarian too, but he never tries. Yes.
Well, I have 2 separate questions, and I'll just ask them both at once and let you answer them both.
Yeah.
How do you classify fish? Are those considered meat as well, or is that something okay to eat? And then the other question is, how long does the
One at a time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You want to include fish in vegetarian diet, is that right?
I'm just wondering how you...
Well, fish is
consider
not
fish.
vegetable anyhow.
Well, it's not meat either.
So no need. It's meat.
Oh, okay.
It's fish meat. It's animal protein. We can't say fish is vegetarian, no? Or vegetable, no? It's not. Yeah.
Well, my other question was, how long does the initiation last?
About 2-3 hours. The initiation lasts only a few minutes, but but the instructions sometimes, you see, because you have to meditate and deal with your daily lives and meditation after initiation. So we have to tell you everything in case we don't see each other again, in case you don't want to see me again, or maybe I die tomorrow. So I have to tell you many things, practical, and introduce you to different levels of the universe so that you will recognize where you are when you meditate or when you rise up there. That's all. The initiation doesn't need any words, actually, and doesn't need any minute. But just sometimes, because it's difficult for you to just sit and immediately rise or concentrate. So we allow you sometimes for half an hour or, some 20 minutes, 40 minutes, like that, you see? Allow you to settle down and feel what you are, yeah, and know where you are. That's all. And that's why all the instruction and all these hours. All right? Or what?
Or are the skandhas empty?
And what?
Or is there no single pure abiding essence in each person?
It's difficult to tell you this, yeah? I only believe in God consciousness, that the only one essence, and it manifests itself in different shapes, yeah? In order to make the universe more lively, more beautiful, okay? But only one essence, yeah? Not even soul, okay? Soul is still a separate existence from God. In order to know God, yeah? Once we're back there, we are just it, all right? But the soul exists.
Hi, thank you for coming to Boulder. I have a question that comes from the sheet, And number 2 says never use the spiritual power to cure others' illnesses.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you could comment on that, particularly living in this community where so many people do heal by hands-on healing and other types of healing.
Mm-hmm. See, if you want to be a healer, if you want to take a position as healer, then do heal. If you want to know the whole, including healing, then you must leave it for a while until you know the whole. Then you can heal. Like heal, but without healing. People just see you and get healed. You don't need to do any hapla hap or touching or messing with their magnetic field, and sometimes creating a mess. And that's when that person is ready at that moment to be healed without messing with the magnetic field or interfering with the karma of that person. And therefore, even some cases speed up their progress. But in ordinary spiritual healing, you know, it's difficult to cleanse the whole house, because the healer does with some sense of ego, and therefore infested some of his own understanding level or karma or even burdens in the patient. So he might get healed in from one sickness, but get the other present gift at the other hand, and incur more complication in the long run. And also, when a person gets healed by a spiritual healer, he believes in that spiritual healer instead of believing his own God's power and awaken his own healing power within himself. That's dangerous for both, for the healer and the patient. The patient believes in the healer get more ego. Yeah? So the best way to heal a person is to become Christ. Heal without healing. Jesus did not stay there and do this and that and other. He is just a healing power himself. And he heals without healing. Heals without knowing. Many people say, I heal the sick and cure the blind and things like that. But I tell you the truth, I don't know anything about it. Therefore, it spared me of pride. Okay? I'm happy that they get cured and that I don't get the burden of pride. Understand? So be the healer of all things, not just sickness. That's why, just like when a person wants to proceed to become a doctor, a medical doctor, then he cannot at the same time work as a nurse and earn money from it. You understand what I mean? Yeah? He must not. He has to pursue with his study for the medical degree. He cannot, because of the money and the immediate benefit of being a nurse to the patient. It looks beneficial too, but then he will not become a doctor and knows all about medical care. Yeah? He will be on a nurse only, and it's limited. All right? So in our path, we pursue the whole, and then we have everything in it. So in the healing path, they pursued only healing for the sickness, and they forgot the other. Yeah, 99.9% of the power of God's consciousness. Therefore, we say leave it. Okay? Yes?
I have a question in regard to your instruction about do not involve in sexual activity unless in a marriage. If one is in a one-on-one relationship with someone and committed and...
Without marriage, right?
Without marriage.
It's okay. Marriage doesn't mean a certificate. Okay. I mean, if you have a marriage partner or a loving partner, do not deliberately break it by including the third party. Okay. You understand? That's all. Marriage doesn't mean you have to go to write out your name and go into the church. Okay. I don't mean that way, okay?
Because above that it said do not indulge in adultery, only one-to-one relation. So you mean one-to-one relation
yes,
equals marriage?
Yes, one-to-one, yes, equal to marriage. In the old day we don't have certificate.
Thank you.
Yes.
I do have one other question also.
Yes.
In regard to do not combine other methods together with this method. and I do a different type of meditation for years.
Yes.
Would I need to give that up if I do the initiation with you?
What do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know already. How do we have time to ride, ability to ride 2 bicycles at the same time? Yeah, we fall. Yeah. Any more? You see, we must understand the laws and the precepts. Yeah, is that to help us to prevent turbulence for our life. Yeah, to prevent upheavals, to prevent unhappiness, and to prevent guilty feeling. In order so that we can, when we meditate, we don't feel burdened with all these things. That's all. Okay. But sometimes in different situations, we have to consider. Yes. For example, when Jesus was alive, you remember somebody brought a so-called adulterate woman to him and asked him to judge her. So what did he do? He forgave her because it was a special case. She wasn't in love with her so-called husband. She was in love with the lover that she committed adultery with. And by force, that husband forced her to marry him and every day treat her brutally. And so when the lover came, of course, they remember each other again, and of course they embrace each other. So that doesn't count as adultery. You understand what I mean? Because the so-called husband did not fulfill his duty as a husband. He treated her like an animal. And she was not even in love with him as the first place. And the way he treated her, how can she be in love with him and be faithful to him? You understand what I mean? It doesn't count as a marriage, even though they have certificate and court registration. So we have to understand everything to prevent guilty feeling and to protect our happiness. That is the law. Love is the best law. Yeah, grace is the highest judgment. But when we live in this world, we must abide some rules and regulations in order to be a good citizen of this world, to ensure neighbors' happiness and to protect our own tranquility. And that's why these precepts and rules to guard you from all kind of dangers. That is all. All right? Do not be afraid. You're okay. You're all right. Yes, it works.
Okay. I have this dilemma that sometimes happens. If I have a desire or a need, I really try real hard to do it, to make it happen. And on the other hand, I also try very hard to let go of it and let God do it for me, or my master self. Would Kuan Yin method help me with that?
It would.
Thank you.
You mean you have always struggled?
Yes.
The bad and the good. Yes. After we are satisfied inside, we don't have even that many desires anymore. Yeah? Slowly, desires are less and less. Yeah? And we are in nirvana. Nirvana is a state of desireless, being, very, very peaceful. We just feel satisfied. Don't know why, just satisfied, just complete, just feel fulfilled. Yeah, we have desires because we want to find happiness. Yeah, we think that by doing this, getting that, we will be happier. But that is a natural instinct of human to find happiness. That's all. And on the other hand, the soul tells us that this is not real happiness, don't do it. That's why you have struggle. But after the soul finds itself, yeah, you find your own self, then the mind doesn't control you that much, doesn't go after object of pleasures anymore. It leaves you alone, okay? And you don't struggle so much. Yeah, you do. We get that through the Kuan Yin method, through knowing the self. Yeah. What time is initiation?
What time would you
What
like
time
to
should
meet?
it start?
About 2 o'clock.
Okay, we have a little more time.
A little more time.
Please. Yet it functions now.
I also would like to thank you for coming to Boulder. And I also have a dilemma of a different sort, and it relates to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
When I was given your book earlier this week about vegetarianism, there was a lot of resentment from her because that was imposed if I were to follow this path. And now I find out that in addition to that, there's the aspect of the alcohol and also the 2.5 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
So
you're in real trouble now.
Yes, now I'm in big trouble. So I'm having trouble.
Is your wife here, by the way?
No.
No, that's a trouble. It's another trouble. If she's here, I could tell her, yes.
I invited her and she declined.
You see that?
So my question, my question is, I have some turmoil in terms of making the decision to receive the initiation because of the, I don't want to create any additional or any discord there because
in the family, yes.
I love her and I love our relationship. So could you give me some guidance there?
Yes. If she is here, it would probably be better. But now I try. Yes, I understand that the soul wants to be free, and yet we have obligation and duties in this world. It's difficult to do both for some person, not all, because in some couples, both follows the same direction. For example, Stephen, he was initiated, but his wife is following suit today. So no problem at all. In this case, we have to be more tactful, in your case, yeah, and more loving. Tell her that you love her very much, just like before, and always will be. And you need her to, to live in this world. You need her love and support in whatever you do in order to have the enthusiasm to follow through. You need her to help you to overcome some of your shortcomings by following this method. You understand? Then you become more a tranquil, peaceful husband. And that doesn't affect your love for her at all. It might even enhance your relationship. Is that good English? Yeah. And tell her the vegetarian diet must not interfere with your love in marriage at all. Even in our daily life, when you eat meat, you sometimes eat different things. Some like pork, some like beef, some eat cheese, no? Sometimes just different taste. And even if she put her lipsticks on her lips, you don't. So why should you always both do the same things? You can do different things, but loving each other and multiply each other's interests. Renew the relationship with new interests. Yeah? She could take interest in your interests without interfering or following you. You could support her interests without preventing her, you understand, or following her. Just like a man might go out to play football, but the woman will go to her club and talk about woman rights and equality. Yeah? That is okay. Tell her that is okay. Tell her, please allow your freedom. Allow you to have the freedom of faith and religious freedom, which is entitled by the federal law. That doesn't include it in marriage, that a partner should follow and eat the same thing like the other one. You understand? The marriage is only ensure that both are helping each other and be a supportive mate through thick and thin, till death us do part. But it didn't say we have to be meat eatings or have to play footballs together. You understand? It has to be a flexible relationship. It has to be a living relationship. Otherwise, it will die. Even if she prevents you from eating vegetarian now, you might do it later. Even if she prevents you following me, you might follow someone else later, maybe worse than me. No, you don't follow me, you follow my teaching only, because it appeals to you. It appeals to your reason, intellect, the intelligence, that what I say makes sense. And that's what you already think about all along, yeah? Now I just affirm it. So answer to give you your lawful freedom, and that's all. There's no need to be a slave to a marriage. It makes a marriage too rigid, too suffocating. Tell her that she doesn't want a slavish husband. If she does, oh, that's bad for her, okay? The husband has to be a manly person. What appeals to a woman is the masculine aspect of a man. Should she make you into a woman, a sheep, or a slave, I think you will lose some of your appeal in the long run. And if she wants that kind of husband, I think she makes mistake in choosing a man. She should have chosen a dog or a sheep. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. In limiting you, she degrades herself. Yeah? That she is not tolerant enough. That she is not great enough to encompass every of your activities into her life. You understand? That not to tolerate. She degrades herself by limiting you. Tell her like that. She limits herself by controlling you. Yeah? A policeman, when he catches a criminal, he has to bind himself with the criminal. Both are bound. And you have to go everywhere. You understand? Even to the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. Yes. We should allow each other freedom, and the marriage will flourish all the time. Especially when a man goes into a good direction. He doesn't go for gambling or go to another woman. He goes for vegetarianism, which is non-violent. And he goes to meditation and toward noble quality of God. A woman, a good wife, should support this 100%. So ask her if she wants to be a good wife or the other way. All right? Reason to her, but lovingly, and tell her that you love her, that you need her. And she's the only one that's important. The master is secondary. Tell her like that. The master is only a teacher. You only see me once a while, but you see her every day. Therefore, she's more important to you. Yeah? She just fear of losing importance. But it's not true. It's not true. After initiation, you understand more about karma and duty. You will be even a better husband or wife, because we have to fulfill our give and take in order to be free. We cannot be free by neglecting our duty as husband or wife. You understand? So she mistakes me for another woman. Tell her I'm not. I'm neither man nor woman. And I'm not that pretty either. Tell her I'm not blonde and blue eyes. So don't ever worry. Yeah?
We have another announcement. The application for initiation is going on in the hall, so
Yes.
once again it's at 2 p.m., which is...
So you can go now if you want initiation, and I'll see you at the initiation hall, so you won't lose me then. And you can ask me more after initiation.
Initiation is, we'll be here in this room. We'll transform this room, and it'll become initiation.
So now I will answer question, but the one who wants initiation must go and fill in the form. Please.
And I just want to be able to sign this, I guess, in good faith, and it says that I have to guarantee that I'm going to be, to give 2.5 hours to meditation every day, and
Yes.
I'm just not positive.
Possible to do that.
I'm not sure that I can. You
Yes.
know, I have doubts about my
Yes.
commitment to a certain point, or perhaps over years I might be able to work up to that.
Yes.
But at this point, I'm not sure that I
Okay.
can. And I don't feel I don't want to try and misrepresent myself by
I
signing
understand
it.
that you are very honest, and that's very good. Try to do as much as you can until you work up to it, okay? But later you'll find, what I mean is that you do not deliberately try not to do it. All right? But once you're first initiated, probably you cannot just sit like that. So you can divide it into 1 hour, half an hour, and another half an hour again throughout the day and make up for it. Or you do it slowly, like half an hour or 1 hour today and 1 hour 10 minutes next week or tomorrow, and then you work up slowly as you like it. But I'm afraid that once you can sit, you will not want to get up. You have the problem to get up, not to sit. Okay? Yes.
Yes, I understand that. Thank you.
This method will give you so much pleasure in sitting that I'm afraid you will find out all opportunity to sit. So don't worry about this. We will not fail you. Okay? It's just that we want to let people know that we have a serious commitment here. You understand? That if you come in, you have to work, you know? Not just come in for curiosity and then come out again, thing like that. So we have to tell everything. So people will not blame me later and say, you don't tell me that you have to meditate 2 hours.